Welcome to Discover La Jolla, where we shine a light on the jewel of San Diego, La Jolla, California. I'm here with Barbara Preston from Pharma Scouts.
Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. It's so nice meeting you and having you on.
Nice to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, so tell us a little bit about yourself and your business and how you got started.
All right. So Pharma Scouts is a recruiting company. We specialize in finding the right scientists for biotech and pharma companies, usually PhD scientists from entry level to chief scientific officers. We recruit nationwide, but of course we love San Diego. So I came here for a postdoctoral fellowship at UCSD in pharmacology and had been in the lab for many years, getting my bachelor's, my master's, my PhD, and then coming for a postdoc.
Wow.
And realized I was really more of a people person than a lab rat. So I discovered that there was such a thing as recruiting, which I never knew about, and I thought that's what I'm going to do. And I just had to find somebody that would teach me to do it. And then a little over 20 years ago, I co-founded Pharma Scouts, and we've been independent since then.
Amazing. So you said that you're pretty much all over the U.S. and you focus not only in San Diego but all over. What have been some of the challenges owning your own business and starting Pharma Scouts?
Well, it's always hard starting any business.
Yes.
Getting getting known. I was fortunate that I had worked for another company for a number of years, and so a lot of people knew me. And so as they needed scientists, because scientists have a special language of science, so most recruiters have a difficult time reaching them or convincing them that they're going to be able to communicate their skills,
right? Because
oftentimes they don't understand the language or the technical aspects.
Yeah, so, it's a very niche subject too.
It is very niche.
And I'm sure there's so many nuances and different types of scientists depending on the roles needed. So it makes sense to have a recruiting company that kind of falls in line with that specialty.
As a matter of fact, when I first got started, I used to say, I could just do chemists. Because there's so many, there's analytical chemists and biochemists and protein chemists and computational chemists. There's so many chemists.
But you don't even realize that there's so much in just one little subset of it.
Exactly. So it helps when we're talking to hiring managers because they know that we understand what they're looking for, and it helps when we talk to candidates because they know we understand what they do.
Yeah. Very cool. Now, since do you live in La Jolla, or kind of what's your tie? Do you have office space here?
So we do have some office space here. I have a couple other scientists who work with me.
Very cool.
We work a lot from home because it's convenient, but I'm always here in La Jolla because this is really such a great hub for scientific discovery, scientific training. Some of the best institutions in the world are here.
Yes.
And many of the companies, both startup to pharma companies, are here. So
yeah, and it seems like it's just growing like crazy in San Diego, just like biotech and all the research, especially at UCSD as well.
World-class research. And so a lot of the people like myself, when they come here, don't want to leave.
Yes, I can understand that. What's your favorite part of living in La Jolla and California in general?
You just get really spoiled here pretty quickly. I moved here from Cornell in upstate New York, and it's not just the weather, it's not just the climate, it's really the people have such outdoor, friendly, not stuffy, just a very openness to them.
Yes, yes, they do. It's the sunshine. Makes everyone a little bit happier.
Right.
Amazing.
I believe that's true.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. If someone wants to learn more about your company, where can they find you and how can they get in touch with you?
So we have a website. It's www.pharmascouts, so pharma like pharmaceuticals, scouts like talent scouts,
Perfect. Thank you so much, Barbara, for coming on the podcast. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure. It was great meeting you, and thank you for inviting me.
Welcome to Discover La Jolla, where we shine a light on the jewel of San Diego, La Jolla, California. I'm here with Jenna Williams from Healthy Lifestyle Education Services.
Hi, well, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. We really appreciate you coming on, and we're so excited to learn more about you and your business.
Thank you.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about how you got started.
So I started into the health and wellness industry over 20 years ago. And I first started off doing body work, and I progressed into doing nutrition. And I really just kind of looked like it became an all-encompassing thing. The deeper I went into it, the more I recognized that people were so unique in every aspect that I wanted to approach every individual to not be come to one for all service, but to initially just understand the individual as, how they, what type of nutrition they needed, how did their body work. So I just started from there and just kept building on from it.
Right. And I know we chatted a little bit, but you not only have clients locally, but all over. So you do it remotely as well.
I do.
Yeah. So how do you get a lot of your client base?
It's mostly referral.
Amazing. Now, so why did you decide to get into it? Like, what was the passion behind it?
The passion behind it started, I was actually an artist at the time, and I was in an accident, and I had such a passion for natural healing, and it was such a path for me in my recovery that I wanted to, again, expand upon it and offer it to other people. So it just led me in a whole entirely different direction.
Now, what's a common misconception people have about kind of like your practice or more of like the natural healing?
I think a lot of people think that it's not science-based and that it's just kind of trendy, or there's not a lot of education behind it or research behind it. So everything that I do, because I am a clinical nutritionist, I like to back everything by science. And of course, a lot of these therapies are time-honored traditions. We have, for instance, acupuncture, reflexology. These are some of the, beginnings of healing, and we still utilize those today. But as we progress into the scientific field and world, we can back these up by evidence. So whether it be by supplements or the treatments, and so therefore I really like that side of it.
Yeah. Now, if someone's first getting started on their like health and wellness journey and they're really wanting to dive in deeper, what's the first step you would recommend them doing?
So first step is I like to, again, talk to the individual about what their goals are. Where are they right now? How do they feel? And look at them as an individual as opposed to, because a lot of people will come in, well, I learned about this or I read about this.
Yeah.
And what may apply to one person is not going to necessarily work for somebody else. So everybody has their own journey. So I recommend them to kind of step back and look at themselves outside of the all the other information that they've learned, and how do they personally feel? How do you feel when you're not sleeping enough? Or do you feel better when you're drinking this amount of water or you're eating these type of foods? So kind of meet them for where they are and for them to recognize that.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. Now, with your clients, kind of what's your approach? If someone wants to kind of have services by you, like do you check in with them weekly, monthly, or is it just more so case-by-case basis?
It's pretty much case by case, and I really want it to be flexible for the individual. But I personally would like everybody to, of course, go down that road of, I call it looking at your blueprint. What is your unique blueprint?
Right.
And that really goes into doing lab work and finding out what nutritional deficiencies are, maybe even genetically how you're predisposed to how you might even deal with toxicities in your body. And go from there and build on that. So making it really very customized and personalized for the individual. I would love to see everybody do that. But there's ways that we can still do that without going that deep into it. And so if it's somebody who's like, well, if I just want to learn how to eat better for, let's say you're going to be running a marathon, then we could, of course, work on that goal, but also customize it for that individual. So I always look to go into customizing it.
Awesome. No, that's really nice too, because not everyone is the same and everyone is very unique. And like you said, we have our own unique blueprint. So what works for someone doesn't necessarily work for everyone.
That's right.
So if someone wants to get in touch with you, learn more about you, your business, and, get coaching by you, learn about your services, what's the best way for them to get in touch?
The best way is by my website right now at Health Lifestyle Education Services, but I'm also going to be offering podcasts and more social media and videos. So that will be available YouTube, and then of course on a couple of different channels that can be found on the website as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Jenna.
Thank
We
you.
loved having you on, and I'm very excited to share this with all our viewers.
Thank you.
Welcome to Discover La Jolla, where we shine a light on the jewel of San Diego, La Jolla, California. I'm here with Dr. Maddie Wallace from Awaken Chiropractic Care.
Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for coming on today. It's such a pleasure having you in.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yes, we're very excited too to learn more about you, your business, and kind of how you got started with chiropractic care.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want me to start there?
Yes, definitely.
Cool.
Tell us how you first found your passion and how you decided to become a business owner.
Yeah. So I kind of found my way to chiropractic on a roundabout way. I didn't have any crazy accident that chiropractic helped me heal from, or I didn't have any family members who were chiropractors. That's kind of a lot of the chiropractors find their way to chiropractic through that. I just knew that I wanted to help people be healthy. I knew I wanted to do something with the body and with healing, and I kind of went on my own quest to figure out what was the best fit for me. So I tried everything. I tried physical therapy and acupuncture and all sorts of different stuff. And after getting adjusted for the first time, I was just blown away. I couldn't believe how good I felt. And I couldn't believe that more people didn't know about chiropractic, that I had never known about chiropractic. So I learned more about it. I realized how simple and profound it really was. And I decided that's it. That's what I wanted to do. So
That's
I went to
amazing.
school and became a chiropractor from there.
That's awesome. And your
Yeah.
practice is over in La Jolla, and it's kind of a unique way about how you fell into the practice that you're at now.
Yes. So I never wanted to be a business owner. Business has never interested me. I was really just focused on the chiropractic side of things. And so I found this adorable office, and there was a chiropractor already in it named Dr. Nevin, and we were going to work together because we were very like-minded. We were very similar in our approach. And then COVID happened. So we were like, okay, we'll wait until COVID's over and then we can join forces and figure this out. And then she decided to move. She decided to do something virtually and, change career paths. So I ended up taking the practice over, which was amazing. Just the universe was handing this opportunity to me, and I couldn't say no. It was already up and running. It was all like-minded people, my ideal clientele. So I took it over. I was super scared, but I've been learning as I go, and it's been really fun and really challenging and really rewarding all at the same time.
So awesome.
Yeah.
And I know we chatted too earlier that you kind of have a unique specialty with your chiropractic care. So let's talk about that.
That's right. Yeah. So I specialize in prenatal and pediatric. And that's another just amazing thing that was so aligned, was that was her specialty. And I was dabbling in it, but once I took over the practice, I really just had to hit the ground running because there was a lot of those people coming in. So it's been really fun working with pregnant women especially. I just absolutely love it. And then working with babies and kiddos too.
Yeah.
It's just, again, challenging but rewarding.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that chiropractic care is more so like skeletal, but it's total body.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Good point. Because with the babies, I'm not treating them for back pain.
Right.
I'm treating them for their nervous system, for their whole body functioning. So for babies, a lot of times I see them for digestive issues, for sleep issues, for just colic, just like fussiness.
Yeah.
And the same applies to adults. I see adults in the office for digestive issues, for sleep issues. It helps with immune system function. So if you're constantly getting sick, chiropractic care can help with that. It's just really focused on releasing tension from the nervous system, and the nervous system is the master control system of everything else.
Right.
So it helps regulate your body and help your body heal. It does help with pain and mobility and things like that, which is typically what people think of when they think of chiropractic, but it's so much more than that. And the pain is just kind of the tip of the iceberg.
That is so cool that it kind of covers not just what you think, like typical back pain or neck pain or shoulder pain, but it's really a total body healing going in. Have you noticed like a lot of people with like the increase of like technology use and being on computers and phones, has that affected a lot of people coming into your business, whether it's like tech neck or carpal tunnel, especially with the younger generation?
Absolutely, yes. It is wild how much tension these kiddos are holding in their spine and their neck and their upper back. I think too, just like the heavy backpacks they're carrying all the time. It's been challenging for sure, because I definitely have a more gentle approach, and I really believe that the body is always trying to heal. So the less we can do to interfere and the more we can do to just support, the better.
Right.
But with kids, I'm finding I'm having to do more and more, just because their systems are so wound up and their systems are so just being affected a lot by the technology and the constant stress on their system.
Do you have any tips for people to kind of like help relieve some of that pressure, or what's something someone can do at home to really support their spinal care, their full body?
Yeah. Stretching is always something I'm talking to people about all day, every day in the office. Even some of my kiddos, like high schoolers, I'll definitely have them doing like cat-cow or supine twist, things like that. So keeping your body moving. Our bodies are meant to move. They're not meant to be sitting as much as we are. So move your body in all 6 directions every day. So there's forward bending, there's back bending, there's side bending, and then there's rotation. And so just getting your spine moving in all 6 of those different planes every day helps keep things more open.
That's good to know. Well, thank you so much for all the tips and learning a little bit more about you and your practice. And if someone wants to learn more and make an appointment, what's the best way?
There's a bunch of different ways to reach me. I'm very reachable. Email is drmaddie@awakenchiro.com. You can find me online, awakenchiro.com. Instagram, Dr. Maddie. And then the phone number, 619-776-9603. You can text or call. People sometimes have had bad experiences with chiropractic, or they're just confused. They don't quite understand.
They think it's unsafe.
They think it's unsafe. Yes. I've had a lot of people come to see me who are a little hesitant at first, and I'm totally open for that. I'm happy to be, take things step by step and really answer any questions. So if anyone wants to chat or have any concerns, I'm more than happy to chat
Wonderful.
about that. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing, and thank you so much for coming on Discover La Jolla. Welcome to Discover La Jolla, where we shine a light on the jewel of San Diego, La Jolla, California. I'm here with Kim Culbertson from Beauty Babe Club.
Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. You have such an incredible story to share just about how you started your business and where you are now. Let's dive in and talk about it.
Okay, perfect. So I'm actually originally from San Diego. I went to school for fashion design, interior design, and so years and years ago when I was in my mid-20s, I decided to move to LA. So I moved to LA for about 10 years, and then right before COVID happened is when I actually moved back. And so that's a whole other story. But when I was living in LA for those 10 years, life just happened and I became like a newly single mom. And I just knew that I wanted to move back to San Diego. I missed it, but in order for me to do that, I had to have a new career.
Right.
Yeah. So
why permanent makeup? So you were in LA, you were probably so in the trenches with the beauty scene and the fashion industry. Coming to San Diego, was it a little bit different than LA? And how did you kind of navigate starting your own business?
Yeah, so that's actually really funny. So I have a funny story about that. I was in LA and I got my eyebrows done and I got them microbladed. Everybody was talking about it at the time. And so I went and got my brows microbladed, and it's so funny and cheesy, but it was like a life-changing experience for me. And so when I got them microbladed, I realized like this is going to be such a huge trend and it's going to be really big one day. And then I just, took a class. I actually begged the girl who did my brows to teach me, and she wasn't even teaching at the time. And so I just really wanted to do it. And then I took the class, and then fast forward, now I have a studio and a training academy and all kinds of different products. And so, yeah.
That's so amazing. And I know we were talking about this a little bit earlier. You have your trainings, and it's not just local. It kind of expands globally. So how do you get that global clientele, and what do you think makes your services different than other competitors out there in the industry?
The first time I got my international client, I kind of was like, did you find the right person? Like, are you sure this is who, And so I just think the power of social media is so big because you can reach an audience that is obviously further outside your city. And so I think that in the beginning, that's kind of how I started finding all these international students. I put a lot of educational content out there, even for my clients. And I think that that's another reason why my services are different, because I'm constantly like continuing my education and making sure that I'm not just doing like one style or one, I could do 30 different brow styles if I wanted to. And so I think that's kind of what makes me a little bit different with my business. And then, just honestly, the social media game is just, it's free.
Yeah. No,
I don't know. It's free marketing. So I spend a lot of my time putting content out. And I think that's why I get a lot of that reach. And now fast forward, I have a online presence reputation too in the permanent makeup world. So yeah.
Well, everyone's face is so different, and you can't just have one style. You have to keep evolving and having different styles and really like suiting to the person's like face and what they want. What do you think has been your biggest challenge since starting your own business?
I would say the biggest challenge isn't the service itself. It's just learning business. I didn't go to business school. Everything and all the success I've had is all self-taught. I'm a person that needs to learn everything. So whether it's a Facebook ad or like I said, social media or even writing copy on a landing page, I didn't want to get taken advantage of in the very beginning. So in order for me to eventually outsource things, I had to learn it myself first to make sure that if I'm going to pay somebody else to do it, that they're not going to take advantage of me. Right. And with that, had I maybe had those skill sets early on, I probably would have been, I think in my mind, a little successful faster, but I wouldn't take any of it away because I just know so much that if I wanted to start a whole new business tomorrow, I'm fully confident that I can because I just have so much knowledge now and experience. Yeah. So I've like self-taught everything. It's really cool. We live in such a cool world where we can just go online or take a course or, it's just abundance of information. So
What, if someone's looking to get into the permanent makeup space here in San Diego, what's one piece of advice you would give them as they start their journey?
To find a good trainer that you can actually learn from. I feel like it's really important that they're going to teach you everything that you need to know, obviously from A to Z, the basics, but really what happens after the training. I think that a lot of my students I still have relationships with over the years because I spend so much time just getting to know them. Right. And then, I always say too, like, you're going to really need me, not during the training, but really what happens after the training when you're in real life situations, because maybe 6 months from now you start tattooing someone's face and you're like, oh my gosh, like this is, what color do I, so like I just have that ongoing support with all my students. And even if, let's say they took a brow class from me and they started doing lips and they weren't trained with lips by me, I still would love to give them that information just because I just love helping people. And I didn't even realize that this is where my life would be, when I was living in LA, and now I'm teaching and servicing all these clients. So it's been like, it's very fulfilling and I love it. So
such an incredible story. And if someone's watching this and they want to learn more about your services or train with you, where's a good place where they can find you, book an appointment, and learn a little bit more?
So you can find me at beautybabeclub.com. My Instagram is the Beauty Babe Club. So
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kim, for coming on, and thank you so much for watching Discover La Jolla. Welcome to Discover La Jolla, where we shine a light on the jewel of San Diego, La Jolla, California. I'm here with Mark Leonard from Grand Prix Classics.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Pleased to be here.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. And I know I was able to come by your shop and learn a little bit more about you, and we're very excited to dive in a little deeper. So tell us about how you have such an amazing background and such a wonderful history, just like being in the automotive space. So tell us a little bit about how you got started and how you decided to open up your shop in La Jolla.
Well, I was born in England, raised in Germany, moved to the U.S. after college. But my early influences were my parents through traveling, sports cars, going to the car races, and learning photography. So when I moved to the U.S., I chose La Jolla for various reasons. It had sort of a cultural background, reminded me of Europe, shops, sidewalks, cafes, interesting people from a variety of places. And I melded in well with that. Then I tried to build a business and was lucky through meeting local older people that sort of mentored me and helped me with funding and getting going. And had a brief stint of 3 years running the Ferrari franchise in La Jolla, where O'Gara is now. And then '88 moved my classic car business into the space where I am, which years ago used to be the Unicorn movie theater. And that got remodeled into what it is today. And since '88, I've specialized in historic sports cars and racing cars. So like the art world, you refine more and more and get into the Van Goghs and Renoirs, but this of the car world. And that's allowed me to meet interesting people, local and international, and broaden into getting involved with charities and automobile racing and other things.
Yes, and your shop, it not only focuses like a showroom, but it's also like a museum. And you have people coming in on the weekends just to stop by, learn a little bit more about the cars. And tell us about the charities and kind of, I know you said you work with children and you kind of mentor a little bit. So let's talk about that.
It's always been enjoyable for me to guide youngsters. I was a single father of 2 children, and they're now older. But I would organize either with the Presbyterian Church or the elementary schools and some children's groups and have them come in and give them sort of motivational talks. I'm involved with Make-A-Wish if the child wants to request something to do with automobiles. And the message isn't necessarily the automobile, but it's the connection that might inspire the youngster.
Yeah.
So with these cars from the pre-war through the late 60s, the owner was the engineer. So Porsche was in control, Ferrari was an individual in control, Ettore Bugatti was. And the children would see that name on the nose of the car, and they would see the art of the car, and then the young ladies might leave saying, well, I'm going to design clothes, and I'm going to have my name on the clothing. So it wasn't necessarily the automobile, but the inspiration it gives the child. And people do come in, they think it's a bit of a museum because you don't see these cars.
Right.
But they all enjoy the experience, and I don't mind. I think it's good to see people connecting with the past and with the art of the automobile.
What's one piece of advice you'd give someone, starting out in their career or, looking to start their own business? What's something that you could offer them based on your experience just owning your own business and kind of everything you've learned over the years?
I get asked that a lot. Just the other day, I took in a young 16-year-old for several weeks, the son of Andrew from American Pizza Manufacturing, and he did an apprenticeship with me. And then sometimes I'll get people getting out of the Navy that love cars. And so you try to guide them in a way, following the steps that they can have their success. But key that they love what they do and are passionate about what they do, because then it's not so much work, but enjoying their lives. But it is hard work, and it takes thoroughness and study and building relationships. So every interaction you take builds confidence in the person that you're doing business with or learning from to continue with you. And those are some of the key points.
Exactly. Well, thank you for sharing that. And I know you've been in La Jolla for a very long time. What's one of your favorite parts of La Jolla, or what's something that you love about La Jolla, whether it's the people or a specific place?
I enjoy the charm of the small village, that you can walk, that you can get to know shop owners or restaurant owners or see friends. You're not always reliant on the car. Interesting. And it has a bit of a European charm, and there's a blend of people. So I learned different languages growing up, so I can talk German to people, or because you'll see them there. And there's a sense of fashion in the community.
Yes.
And there's the old architecture and the new architecture. And all those things are charming and inviting to La Jolla. And then the community is quite active, where it's putting on the La Jolla Car Show or the art tour or the food walks and art walks. Those are all good things.
Yeah. And you are involved in the La Jolla Conquer. Tell us a little bit about that and your involvement with Dorvier.
I've been involved since 2002, and 10 or 12 years ago when Michael Dorvier took over, I had known him prior, and he does an outstanding job with the difficult parts of the show, the finance, the city, those.
Technicalities.
I helped with car selection and giving advice on themes and how to find the rarest and most interesting of the cars. But that's also an event that's great for the community.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. And it was really great learning a little bit more about you, about Grand Prix. Now, if someone's watching this and they want to get to know more, what's the best way for them to contact you or to find the shop?
The website is grandprixclassics.com. We're open Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 5 and Saturday and Sunday by appointments. They're welcome to just come in and browse and see the inventory in the cars. It changes. And we're very peaceful and relaxed. We're the opposite of a new car dealer.
Yes.
You're invited to come in and enjoy the art of the car.
Yes, and I love, I wanted to mention too that you have memorabilia, you have like old photo books of just kind of like the history of everything. So it's a really great place if you're looking to learn more about history of cars to come to and explore.
Yes, I have quite a bit of automotive art from the 20s through to the 60s, right, and a good library and photographs. I was a Formula One photographer for 4.5 years, so sometimes people are interested in that too.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, and thank you so much for coming on Discover La Jolla. Welcome to Discover La Jolla, where we shine a light on the jewel of San Diego, La Jolla, California. I'm here with Marina Dine of Marina Dine Acupuncture.
Yeah, hello. Hi, Courtney.
Hi, thank you so much for coming on our podcast today. We're very excited to have you on and to learn a little bit more about you. You have such an incredible story. So tell us about how you got started in the world of acupuncture.
I wanted to be a doctor since I was little, and my peers in preschool, they knew I'm a medicine woman, and with their cuts and wounds, they would come to me. Yeah, and
amazing. I love that.
Yeah, it was fun, and everyone knew I'm going to be a medical professional.
Yes, and you're down in San Diego now, but you got your start in Northern California. So tell us about how you moved the practice down here.
I worked really, really hard during quarantine. I think I was off only for 1 month, and I worked 2 full years, 10 hours a day, helping people to, relieve their fears, help them with their health issues, and all that they need was provided, and I went above and beyond to help them, and I felt a little tired, so I really wanted to be by the ocean where my ancestors lived, actually. So I feel like at home here.
Amazing. So you have your practice over in La Jolla.
Yes.
And what do you treat exactly? Like if someone's looking for acupuncture services, what does it exactly do and what are the benefits of it for someone who's never had it before?
There is actually, I know many people use acupuncture now, but I would really encourage people to learn more about acupuncture and in depth, because people think, oh yeah, we know, we've done it, but sometimes we're all medical practitioners, all acupuncture practitioners are very valuable, and we might know different things. So each practice is different and valuable, and could be even more helpful or less helpful in some conditions. So what I do, my specialty is big comprehensive treatments that we address multiple problems. It could be 5 and 6 and up to 8, 10. That's brave to say, but yes, it happened in minimal time. So people can improve by multiple points in a shorter time. So that's what I do. I love results, and and I'm very generous with time with people, and I don't I don't count minutes. So
Right.
for me, it's like bottom of the ocean when I work. Any problems that exist out in the outer world, they don't exist anymore,
Yeah.
and I'm just with the patient, and I'm so in tuned and so. That's just my holy place.
Yeah, I love that you're very passionate about helping people. And I know we talked a little bit earlier that you've helped people kind of like make it to very special events or kind of feel so much better. So tell us about one of your success stories and something that you're very proud of in your practice.
Yeah, I'm sure every acupuncturist have has those stories, but for me, it was so wonderful when I could save a few holidays for people. One lady had a big party. It was a round number that was she was reaching, and she said, she came maybe 3-4 days before. She said, I cannot, I don't feel well, I have a headache, or number of things, and I don't know if I can accommodate so many people, with my condition. And I suggested pretty big treatment, and we did because I have a training in Chinese medicine, in Western medical field, in medical massage, in cosmetology, and plus some spiritual approach. So I combine all of these things, and I suggest some of it to each person.
Yeah.
And I have to, it's like a music box. Acupuncture is like a music box. You rotate the handle, and then only then the music comes.
Right.
So you have to kind of adjust something in your body that it would just have a musical and beautiful, and the people would feel wonderful.
So what advice would you give someone who maybe isn't getting treatment right away, or they're really looking for help but they haven't gotten it yet?
Yeah, it is very important. I would really suggest that people would get help, acupuncture help, as soon as possible. Because it is harder to help people when they come to me already in critical condition. It takes longer time to help them, and it's difficult for them to live with that. So I would suggest, if people have some minor misalignments or some challenges, they would address it right away.
And so wonderful that you're able to help so many people with all your specialized training. Now, if someone's watching this and they want to get to know you more, they want to get in touch and set up an appointment, what's the best way to contact you?
The best way, they can send an email, Marina Dinetz Acupuncture. That's my website. So marinadinetzAcupuncture.com. That's the website. And from the website, there is my phone number. And I believe there should be an email too. So email or text me.
Awesome.
Just all easy.
Thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate having you on Discover La Jolla podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. My pleasure.
Welcome to Discover La Jolla, where we shine a light on the jewel of San Diego, La Jolla, California. I'm here with Dario Anamokan from Dario Salon.
Good morning, Courtney. Thank you for having me here.
Yes, thank you so much for coming on. We're excited to learn a little bit more about you and your salon.
Thanks
so
a
you
lot.
have beginnings in Colombia, and you
Yes.
made your way here, and you started your own business. So let's talk about that and why you decided to do hair.
Very quick, long story. I started, this is a family business back in Colombia. However, were not my intentions. I went to business school, like in all families, you have to go to school, you have to do this, you have to do that. However, business, it was not something that it was always, the part of being behind of a desk, it was not my thing. And I thought like, okay, you know what, there is something else that I like, which is people. I like to talk to people. I like to experience, connect, learn, know about them. And that pushed me to learn about this, that I thought like, okay, this is the best way to connect the people. And that's how I started. Yes, I started back in New York.
I
in
love that.
1998.
And you mentioned, because we chatted a little bit earlier, but you worked for like some fashion weeks, some bigger brands. So how did that influence what you're doing today over here in La Jolla?
Okay, yes, I have experience and I have worked in every single part of the industry because you need to know everything. I did photo shooting, I did the fashion week in New York, I work with Macy's, I have done the pageants with the Miss Universe, I did all of that. However, you have to focus yourself in one specific area. So some people they are super great at extensions. I am good at color and cutting. That is my deal. Don't take me into something else because I cannot. So when I am with my clients, I offer them the best of what I know. I can advise them like, okay, extensions, yes, I can give you names, I can refer you to, but don't take me into areas that I am comfortable, but I know I would not be able to deliver that.
Right.
I want to deliver to my client in a specific service that they will be happy with, and they will come back to me.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. And you mentioned too that you are very proactive with your education and keeping up with new trends. Let's talk about that and kind of what you do to differentiate yourself from other stylists in the area who do cuts and colors.
It's very important thing that you just mentioned, Courtney, because as a hairstylist, as a self-educators, as entrepreneurs, sometimes we forget how much education is important in our industry. Not only the business side, but also your work. So yes, I participate with training at least once or twice a year. With people in Europe is where the trends most of the time they come from. So I go to London and Paris and in Italy are my three biggest mentors out there, and I like to follow them. I'm not big on social media. However, I think that being with them and learning from them every single day, you bring something else to the chair to each client.
You do, yes. And then having that international influence, I'm sure you're keeping up with like, new trends or different styles, and I'm sure that kind of keeps your clients loyal to you, and that's why they probably love coming to you as well. Yeah.
Correct. That is important to have it.
So you have your own salon in La Jolla. What's one of the biggest pieces of advice you could give someone who's looking to start their own salon or enter the cosmetology industry?
The now, that is the key. The now. I think that having a plan is very important, but the now is essential. Like taking those 10 minutes, 15 minutes to write 5 text messages, to do 5 phone calls, to contact with those clients that you haven't seen for a while. Even in any industry, you have to do that.
Yeah.
Not only in my industry. I mean, it's hard for us to see one client gone, and because one client leaving, it takes probably 10 to build back that client who left. So the key for me, it has been the now, that I have to do it now. Doesn't really matter my plan that I have for the week. If I'm going to contact Courtney, I'm going to do it now. If I'm going to contact Mark, I'm going to do it now. If I'm going to talk to Chelsea, I'm going to do it now. I'm not going to wait.
Yeah. No, that's important. It's being proactive with your business.
Correct.
And not just waiting for the next day, and being more intentional with where you put your time and your efforts.
Exactly.
And I'm sure that really just helps you grow your business and keep your clientele as well.
It is.
Amazing.
And it makes you, look at what you just say, it
Yeah.
makes you so different that it kind of creates that energy around the people that you are with.
Now, you have your salon in La Jolla. What's your favorite part about La Jolla?
You know what? Everything. La Jolla is a very dynamic neighborhood. It's changing constantly. New businesses are coming up. It's good, and it hurts sometimes to see long-time businesses leaving.
Yeah.
Rent is tough. I cannot deny that. However, if landlords work with you, that is a great opportunity to continue your business there. But it has everything. It has restaurants, it has coffee shops, it has pet stores, it has the beach, it has the little, I don't know, name it. Everything is in La Jolla. You can find anything if you want in there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story and a little bit about your history and your salon. Now, if someone's watching this and they want to come see you, what's the best way for them to get in touch?
Usually, for me, is my website. Is the easiest way. All my information is there. My Instagram is my information. My basic information is there, but all the information on my website is available for you.
Great.
And I always will be ready. Don't ask me, hey, what you will do for me? You know what? Don't ask me because I have the now right in my mouth.
Yes.
You know?
Awesome. Well, such a wonderful story, and thank you so much for coming on the podcast today, Daria.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to Discover La Jolla, where we shine a light on the jewel of San Diego, La Jolla, California. I'm here with Pete Potente from Potente Law Firm.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's good to be here.
Yes, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And we're excited to learn more about your business, Potente Law, but then also learn more about you and how you got started.
Perfect.
And I know that your first office was in La Jolla, so you definitely have that tie.
Yeah, La Jolla, as we were talking earlier, plays a very proud and prominent role in the history of Potente, our law firm. La Jolla is a unique place. I don't have to say that. You know, the natural beauty, the aesthetics, the people, the energy. And I can say that if it wasn't for the energy of La Jolla, Potente probably wouldn't exist the way it exists in the globe, in the world, the way it exists today. So I'm really grateful that La Jolla has been a part of the building blocks of Potente and forever will be. And our clients benefit from it. Our colleagues do, and we as a team do. I know I do.
Amazing.
Personally.
So tell us about how you got started in law. I know you have a wonderful story about how you were a young entrepreneur, kind of starting things from the ground up. So how has that evolved from then to now?
You know, for me, I've told this story a million times, but it's a story. It's burned into my memory, and I'm never going to forget it. And I was 12 years old. I was returning on a family vacation. I read the book The Firm by John Grisham. And I thought, you know what, this is cool. I didn't quite understand what being an attorney was like at the time. But bottom line, it was about helping people. And I come from a family of entrepreneurs, self-employed business owners, and I've always had a passion for that. Immigrants, entrepreneurs that came to this country with nothing and built something. But this country is a legal maze. Full of legal headaches, accounting headaches, headaches all around, political headaches. And it's a tough, complex place to operate a business, build a business, get it all set up and started. And for me, that was always a strong passion point. And I clearly didn't understand it as a 12-year-old. But as I got older and really developed an interest in finance and in the world as a whole and business and commerce, I thought, wait a second here. I want to help people. I love business. I like anything international. I love California, and we're a magnet for international business. What's the best thing in the world to be? An attorney. It opens up a lot of doors to help people selfishly experience a lot of fun things in life and fun journeys. But most importantly, it created a professional path that I'm forever grateful for. So there are a lot of paths that intersected with my legal career. My family background, my personal interests, where I grew up, who I am, my memories, my experiences, but it's all one big soup, so to speak, and all the ingredients come together and that it led me down my path, and it's the best profession for me. And it allowed me to be self-employed, allowed me to start a business in Southern California. It fulfilled a lifelong dream, and most importantly, it allowed me and gives me the opportunity every single day to pay it forward with every life that I can touch professionally or on the team or anyone.
Now, if someone's looking to get into law, they're beginning their journey, what's a piece of advice you'd give a young entrepreneur or business owner or someone looking to be an attorney?
Well, I'll tell you this. Any young person going into business, taking the next step, getting outside of the classroom, be persistent. Unfortunately, in today's world, everyone wants to get something right now or yesterday.
Yes, the instant gratification.
Yes, I'm guilty of that too. We all are. I've owned this law firm for 18 years. It has been 18 years of true hard work and persistence. It's not always fun and games. It's not always fun, glamorous, colorful pictures. We're making sausage, and it's not always fun. But what makes it fun is the persistence and hard work, and to see it all pay off at the end. And I was, we were talking the other day, Courtney, about giving that young person that positive influence that might be like I was, 26 years old, on an island by myself, 0 clients, bills to pay, law school debt, you name it. I never once lost the drive. I never once lost that internal mission. I never lost the overall persistence that's necessary. So I would say that hard work, persistence, those are 2 very required ingredients for success. It's not about the degree. It's not about how many followers you have online. It's not about any of that stuff. It's about your own internal drive and desire. That would be the biggest thing, because you're going to have a lot of sleepless nights. You're going to have a lot of long hikes or walks by yourself contemplating and thinking about stuff. But if you have that internal drive and that spirit, you will find that success in that path. You will level up.
Yeah,
It'll
you
happen.
have to stick with it, and a lot of times, you just have to keep going, and then that's when you find that success, when you've tried everything and you're about to give up, and that's kind of when you have that breakthrough.
That's so true. I see it. It's not just with me. I see it with clients. I think that's one of the reasons why I love being an attorney, because every single day I see inspiration with my clients. When I look at what they go through, what they build, the stress they do, and to know that I can help them get through it. And then also they inspire me.
Right.
It's the best two-way street in the world.
It's like a win-win.
Yeah, totally.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now, we were talking earlier, too, about you have some funny stories to share, just things you've experienced along the way, being a business owner and having a wide variety of clients. So why don't you share a couple of those, or one that really stands out to you?
Well, I have a lot of proud stories. And, I thankfully have been a part of some really close people in my life that have been a part of my life for, decades. And to see them or to help them bring their business ideas to fruition and success, that is such a proud moment for me. To look at a guy that I've known since college, to see his business do really well, to take it national, to take it global. That's why I do it, and that's what makes it gives me goosebumps to see my friends, to see people important to me, to see my clients who I treat like family, to see them succeed. Whether it's buying another business, to see a big liquidation event in their life where they sell their business and they get to move on. And to know that I had something to do with it, and to know that they entrusted me with that moment, and for the duration of their business, for that matter, it's why I became an attorney in the first place. So those are some of my proud journeys that I've been on. Some of the cautionary tales, I always feel the need to share a couple things with people. One, if you're going to go into business, make sure that you have adequate capital in place to have proper insurance, a proper CPA who knows how to file a business tax return, and you can pay for proper legal when necessary. I'm not saying it has to be with Potente, our law firm, but make sure you have a proper business attorney who can help guide you through some really treacherous situations. Here in California, we have some bad situations with people not following regulations, not following certain food and safety requirements, environmental and HR issues are a big problem. So I always tell clients, unless you can be adequately capitalized to cover all of those other necessary business expenses, don't go into business. Come up with a budget that works for you, but make sure at a minimum, CPA, insurance, and strong legal. They work hand in hand. And lastly, the other cautionary tale I always tell folks, don't Google stuff. I'm an attorney with almost 20 years of experience. Schedule an appointment with an attorney or someone who knows what they're doing. Spend that money.
Yeah.
It can save you
Get that professional
tens
advice.
of thousands of dollars down the road. It's like if you've had a toothache, you're typically not going to Google it. You're going to go see the dentist.
Totally.
So I see a lot of, again, cautionary tales that could be completely avoided. And unfortunately, this profession has done a not so stellar job of promoting the good things that attorneys do. We do keep people out of trouble. We do mitigate risk. We do, hopefully build that necessary foundation so that your business can succeed, long-term success. So attorneys, we aren't your enemies. We're your creative problem solvers that let us be proactive, not reactive for you.
Amazing. Well, really great pieces of advice. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm sure our viewers will find this helpful, whether they're looking into going into law or if they're, looking to start a business and they just need that advice. Now, if someone's watching, where can they learn more information about you and your law firm?
I would recommend visit our website, www.potente.com. Again, that's Potente. I always tell folks that's potent with an E on the end, www.potente.com. You can read about our team, our firm, our history, our practice areas, and also be connected to all of our social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, or X, all that good stuff as well too. And we readily keep our blog up to date. We actively keep our Instagram up to date. So please visit all that stuff. You can learn about the fun team at Potente. We keep our clients legally updated on everything. We take a real, true, hands-on, organic approach to not just our clients, but to society and our community at large, whether it's here in San Diego or on a global level.
Wonderful. Thank you for coming on the podcast today.
Thank you, Courtney.
Be sure to check out Potente Law.
All right.